Hey guys, today I was coming across a video on I found through Reddit about getting out of slumps and what slumps are. And in this video, L3TV uses this graph to show you how you can play well, and then you come into the slump, and this area down when your performance is going down. This is the slump here, and then to get out of the slump, people try many measures. Maybe they change resolutions or sensitivity. He's talking about all these things when you're in a slump, and he's talking about how you can picture a slump being you're driving a car to work every day, or you have a daily commute, whether it's you take the bus and then the subway or the underground or tube, whatever you call it, depending on where you're from. Your route from home to work is autopilot, and it just feels like 2 minutes have passed, and it's just you're on autopilot the entire time. And if something happens, let's say there's a train closure, or the bus needs to be rerouted, or you're driving a car and someone slams on the brakes, and you wake up from that. And he's suggesting that when you're in a slump, that's you waking up from the autopilot routine. Now, I just wanted to make a few points on what I feel slumps are, and see if I could suggest alternatives getting out of slumps, and to understand what a slump really is. So the first thing is, what is a slump? I think a slump it's the opposite of consistency. So you look at this graph again, the slump down here, this up, down, that's not consistent. What you want is you want it to plateau. You want it to be here on just straight zero, just all across the board, just flat. Maybe you go up a little bit, but for the most part it's flat. When your performance is consistent, that's when you're playing your best. So if you do go into a slump and you're just playing bad for whatever reason, the worst thing you can do is keep playing and playing and playing, and just, it's fine to play and play and play. It's bad when you internalize your bad play. So if you're playing, you're like, man, I'm playing like shit, I'm missing my shots, nothing's hitting, this registration's bad, maybe it's my crosshair, maybe it's my sensitivity, maybe it's my resolution. When you're thinking about these thoughts, you're internalizing it in a negative way, and that's making you play even worse. That's contributing to you playing worse. So the first thing you need to do is just get it out of your head. So whatever you need to do to clear your head, some people are different than others. Some people can just think to themselves, listen, what I'm doing right now isn't healthy, I'm just going to play my game. Done. Some people, that works for. Other people, they need to exercise, bike ride, running, go to the gym and do some weights. Other people can take time just off the game entirely, just take a day break. Maybe you go out to a bar or a club, you go out with your friends. Whatever you need to do to mentally reset yourself so you're not thinking about your bad play and internalizing it in a negative way, that's the first step you need to do. The next thing you have to do is understand, okay, why do I get into these slumps? How is a slump created? Well, a slump's created when you're not playing consistently. So this comes back to, how do I play more consistent? I need a more consistent style of play. That's basically what it means. So let's take this scenario. You're playing in pugs or matchmaking, whatever the case may be. You're playing against players who aren't that great. You have better aim than them, you have better reaction time than them. What you start doing as you keep playing these guys is you start doing these unsafe plays. You start, getting cocky, you start making plays that you shouldn't be making, but you're winning these aim duels, you're winning these battles because you're just better individually than them. You have better aim, better reaction time, you get those kills. You think you're playing well. You get into this habit of saying, oh, I'm running around here, I'm doing these peaks, and I'm getting these kills, so it must be good play. So you keep doing this, and you get into this routine, you get into this habit of doing these plays. But these plays aren't smart plays. And then eventually you'll start playing against people who, have as good aim as you, and their reaction time's just as good as yours. And now, instead of winning the aim duels, you're losing the aim duels. And it's not because your sensitivity's off, or you're playing bad, or whatever the case may be. Simple fact of the matter is, you're putting yourself in these bad engagements and taking these fights because you've put yourself in a habit of taking these duels, which you shouldn't have been taking from the get-go. The only reason why it worked is because you were playing against worse players. So you need to understand, okay, against worse players I can do this, against better players I can't, and you need to figure out how to play against better players, and it comes down to what types of engagements you're taking. So you need to understand what's a better engagement to take. Is it a better engagement to take, let's say, for example, you're out in the open exposed and your enemy can control the engagement, but they're behind cover, or is it better for you to be behind a box, behind a headshot box maybe? You can crouch down, pop your head up, you can see the enemy's entire body, you can spray at them, you can burst at them, you can take tap shots at the head, you can peek up from the left, peek up from the right, you can show just your head. And all they can see is your head for a fraction of a second, and that's all they can react on. But every time you pop up and you control the engagement because they're in the open, you can choose however you want to shoot at them, you choose when you want to peek them, you control the engagement. What's better for you? Well, obviously playing behind cover is better for you. So you want to take, the reason for that is because you're in a better engagement. You're going to win those fights more times than you're not going to fight because you have a better position. So to be consistent, you want to be in those proper engagements. You won't have the cover every time, but you can still control to a certain extent what type of engagement you're going to take. For example, if you're on Inferno and you're peeking at the top middle, that's the first place terrorists are going to check when they're coming up middle. They're going to check for you to be porch side or arch side. But if the terrorist's running up porch side, near the truck, into the bomb site, into the pit, you can be playing in the pit at a few angles, graveyard, on the balcony, in the site, down by moto and library. Like, there's so many angles you could be playing that they have to check all these angles. So it makes it very difficult for someone to come up and clear a bunch of angles than for them to just peek straight up at you. So you need to understand that you need to be in a better, you need to take a better engagement. When you take better engagements, you'll start being more consistent. The more consistent you are, it's the opposite of slumps. So slumps are caused by bad engagements, which is also by bad habits. And to be more consistent, you need to take better engagements and better habits, and stop internalizing your bad play. Stop saying, "Oh man, I'm playing really bad. I gotta change settings," or I'm missing all my shots, and I'm not hitting him. My reg is off. If you get those thoughts and you can't clear them out by yourself, by just before you play your next game, go and do something else. Go out with friends. Go eat your favorite meal. Get some ice cream. Have a shot of alcohol. Exercise. Exercise is great for this. Do something else and clear your mind, and then you can come back to the game. You gotta think about things objectively. You can't think about things subjectively as if it's like this isolated case. It's not. Anyways, I hope this helped clear things up a little bit. My thoughts might have been scrambled and rambled and all sorts of shit, so I apologize for that. But I hope this does help explain why you get into slumps and how to get out of slumps a little bit onto this guy's video. I will link his video in my description. It's from LO3 TV. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.